Be Free Dayton. Please welcome Elizabeth VanDyne. Come on out, Elizabeth. Hey, come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Sure was needed.
Hello, dear.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
So, the co-founder, executive director of Be Free Dayton.
Yes.
And that is?
We are a new nonprofit, and our mission is to abolish and prevent sex trafficking in the Miami Valley.
Okay. See a lot of that on the news, you know?
Yeah, it is becoming a very big issue on the news, and
You
we're
would
starting
think
to hear
that
a
it
lot more
had
about
faded away after a while, but no, it's getting worse from
Right.
what I'm seeing in the news. and
Well,
what you're
people are
telling me.
starting to look for it more, which is
Okay.
great, and so you know, it's definitely being exposed for the very real issue that it is here, right in our backyard.
Who named it the Be Free Dayton? I mean, how'd that come
It was a
about?
collaborative effort, myself and a few of our staff that were there from the beginning.
How'd you get involved in all that?
Well, actually, about 10 years ago, I was on my own, struggling, broke, didn't have any way to pay my bills, and I actually chose to become a stripper in the Dayton area, pretty close to where we are right now. And I had no idea at the time, but I was seeing trafficking happening right in front of me. A lot of my coworkers were actually being trafficked, and you know, knowing what I know now,
Of course, you can't say where, huh?
I'm not going to say where,
Okay.
yeah, but you know, I could have very easily become a victim. I was approached by pimps and traffickers while I was doing that for a very short time, and knowing what I know now, I can't not do
What did
something
you think
about
of the film Taken?
You know, I think it's a Hollywood version of
Yeah.
a very real issue. You know, Liam Neeson's pretty awesome.
But things like that do happen.
They do. Not
take girls taken
necessarily-
overseas and-
Yeah, they are taken overseas. That does happen. What are, you know, my area of expertise is really just domestic sex trafficking. So what it looks like, you know, here in our backyard, and less than 5% of victims are actually just taken. They're kidnapped off the streets.
see. Okay.
The majority are tricked, are coerced, are recruited by someone that they know, even a family member, in a lot of cases. So it's not too realistic for what it looks like here in the States.
And then you made it Taken too.
I did hear that. I haven't seen that.
How much does drugs play in that, Elizabeth? As far as getting, come on, I'll give you a little hit, I'll give you a little coke, and they get high. Then they start depending on it, and then that's when it probably all begins. That's just one of
Yeah.
the areas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drugs are pretty much the #1 way to control someone for commercial sex. It does play a huge role. Dayton and the Miami Valley you know, we're currently experiencing a heroin epidemic that's going on, and so it is a very real problem, and it is highly connected. The drug trafficking model, you know, we're talking about organized crime, and that model has kind of transferred over from the drug trafficking model. A lot of drug traffickers are now turning to traffic in people because the profit margin is much higher. You sell a drug one time and it's gone, but you can sell a person over and over. And so they are very closely related.
That's just a shame because it leaves the family heartbroken. It can destroy the lives. And it's
Absolutely.
just not women. It's done with men too.
Absolutely,
Men and women.
20% of victims are men and boys, and actually the average age of entry into prostitution in the U.S. for boys, for men, is 11 to 13.
Wow.
So we're talking about children. For females, it's 12 to 14. So we're talking about children.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
how long have you been doing this? You said how long?
Be Free will turn 1 on May 6th. So
May 6th.
we are a fairly new organization, but we've been very successful. We're very proud of the work that we're doing in our community. We train everyday citizens to be able to identify and report trafficking when they see it in their community, different businesses, law enforcement, healthcare providers. And then we also teach youth and parents how to protect themselves and their children from the recruitment process. We've actually trained over 3,000 people.
How big
in
a
1
staff
year.
do you have that
We have
trains
6
these
people on staff
6 right now?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're small, but we're definitely we're very mighty.
Well, Robin had talked to me about you and about her and what a good idea was to have the two of you on at the same time
Absolutely.
to cover this. And I think you guys did a great job. So keep up the good work because
Thank you.
evidently it's not going down, it's going up. And
It is.
Well, but this marijuana thing that they keep legitimate, how's that going to affect The same thing as the heroin, imagine?
You know, there, you don't often see marijuana used to control someone for commercial sex. I mean, all drugs are gonna kind of play a part. So I really wouldn't be able to say exactly what that would do for the sex trafficking specifically, because it's right now we're seeing heroin. Is the drug that is being predominantly used
And isn't
in
it called now
recruitment
the drug of choice now?
It is. It's very, very dangerous. The heroin that's out there on the streets right now is in pill form, and so it is highly, highly dangerous. It's so much more potent than it used to be. It's highly addictive. People are literally dying in the streets.
Wow.
So it's incredibly dangerous. Very easy to get addicted to. So it's a very important part is
Sure
understanding that and being able to fight and combat that issue alongside the
Thanks
issue
for
of
coming and
trafficking.
explaining all that. Boy,
Yeah,
this has been
thank you
quite
so
an
much.
education.
I'm telling you, and I didn't have to pay for it like I did my academics.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.